Hello, my name is Jason Chirani, and this is my FMP overall summary evaluation. And I'm gonna be honest right now. Um, this year for level 3, I haven't put as much work as I should have. I mean, in my skill edit, I had one of the major things was focus and being more prepared and getting into it, but for this FMP wise, I have not been focused and I feel like I failed. I feel really ashamed of myself, and there's really no words I can rely or relay that's important to FMP. I mean, granted, I did do the work. I've got my edit, I finished my edit, I've got my plans, my production work, my considered ideas. I have done the work. Don't get me wrong. But my major problem is the fact that first I wasn't up to date with the things I should have done. I mean, I made a whole plan with proposal wise. I said, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and doing this, and doing this, and doing this. But uh, I broke it. As soon as it came close to Easter break, as soon as I got into that script, bang, drop down, lost focus. I didn't as and major problem is paperwork. I'm frightened all the time of the paperwork. I feel like if it's not good enough, then I'll most likely fail, and I really don't want that. I mean, even if I get a pass, which is not what I really want, but at least I've passed it. At least it wasn't for naught. But if I fail, I don't really know what I can do. I mean, I've been in media since level 1. I mean, even before that, I was in secondary school and I was doing media. And I mean, I've always loved films and TV shows and filming specifically. But as I've gotten through the years of each level I passed through, the paperwork kept on going. And that was what I feel like I failed, the paperwork. I mean, my research folder right now is like got a lot of primary and production stuff, which I love. I mean, I love going out there and taking shots and doing visual stuff. I mean, the visual stuff I did was so fun, but the paperwork wise, like looking at blogs, journals, going on to reviews, getting audience research, it just it's weak, and I have no one to blame but myself. I mean, one of the major things that has been going on when I was in media was I always get stressed. I'm a very stressed person, and so I like I put on my skills at it. Something I needed to achieve to improve this year was to not get stressed, and I have achieved that. I've learned to achieve that, and I feel that's good of me, but not in the right way. I didn't achieve it because I was, you know, like winning, because I knew I was on the right track. I have achieved it because I knew I duped up. I messed it all, and more or less with the paperwork. I should have went into there guns blazing, got onto it, and I made should have made the best thing as I could. I mean, level 2, I got a distinction. That maybe that was the reason. Because I got a distinction, I came into level 3 being really cocky, being really uptight, and being like, yeah, I got this. But level 3 just told me, nah, nope, you got still much more to learn. And I mean, I appreciate that. I would definitely say I've learned way more than I ever have in my project. I've learned so much this year, and even though I feel ashamed of myself, and I could consider this a failure compared to level 2, when I was doing a distinction in level 2, just nothing worked. My bad, I actually said level 2, and well, I mean level 3. Just, I'm gonna say, like, though I had a blast. Even after I feel really ashamed of myself and I should have done most of the work, I had a brilliant time. I mean, when I started this project, I said to myself, I want to do something fun. I don't want to do anything mopey, depressing, like a lot of other people, a lot of other my classmates are doing. For some reason, something deep and meaningful. I didn't want to do that. I said to myself, I wanted to do something fun, and I feel comedy and sitcom and stuff is the way to go. Oh, by the way, my idea is a wow, it's changed. Actually, I should get into later. It's just so yeah, I wanted to have fun, and I had a blast as soon as I got past a lot of the paperwork, the long draggy paperwork, and got to into more of like primary test stuff, like learning how to use LED lights, learning, getting more engaged with actors and speaking to new people that I've never spoken to. Learning about stunts and practicing those stunts on myself to make sure that they're safe for my actors. Learning about new cameras, like an XL1, you getting out a retro tape camera that no one in their right mind will use nowadays. That was such a blast. I had so much fun just using that, and like, it was eye opening for me. Um, I mean, in level two, I never used anything like that. And even my previous projects of level three, I never did anything like that. It's only until level three where I started to broaden my horizon. I mean, my last project, I looked at Foley, and it was so amazing. It's something I never thought of. I mean, I feel like I'm improving more and more by each project, each time, and that's good. But at the same time, even though I've had all that, it's just the grade that's hanging over my head. And I mean, I'm not stressed by it because I know it's my fault, but at the same time, as I said, I just feel really disappointed. Though, anyhow, I should discuss like what exactly went on. So in the beginning of my project, I started out and I said right away after, even though I made two other ideas, I'm doing a sitcom, cheesy style shoot. And at first, it wasn't as I did do research. I didn't do as much research as I should. I looked a little bit on sitcoms, looked at other sitcoms, um, though I should have done more tropical research to apply to that because when I went with my pitch, the pitch literally destroyed me. They went bang, and I was like, damn, just ow. But they gave me good criticism, and it made me really think. But that's another thing. In my evaluation, which I've said in my ongoing one, not as much changes. Even when I was doing more research, a lot of it didn't change, and it was irritating because I felt like I need to say something that changed, but nothing has changed because most of it was just, oh, you should look at this to answer this question, rather than, oh, you looked at that, but maybe you should have done that, or maybe you should maybe think about this instead, and it just really hurt me, like because I didn't like in the beginning I didn't know how to change it, and that's why with my pitch I didn't know how to adapt from it. And even when I was researching, this is where the force welled in. When I was researching, I researched too much on scripts. Now, last year, um, I did make a script, but it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. And in fact, I piggybacked too much off my tutor back then. So to now finally do it myself and to look at it as a whole and how to do it and research why on the formatting and what script writers are, um, was intriguing. I mean, when I looked at scripts wise, it was just like eye opening for me. Like I knew how the formatting is, and now I knew I can do it myself. Except for when after I did finish researching it, I didn't know how to write it. Mainly because I wanted to do a sitcom, and a sitcom is comedy, and I was trying to mix myself with comedy and sitcom. So with all that, I looked up on well, I kept on pondering on it, and it went too far. I was kept on too thinking about how I can adapt this, you know, script. How can I make it? I mean, I had quite a few gags, like the jump out gag, the freeze frame gag, the pickup line scenes from my script. I got all my characters sorted. I knew who is who, and who's based off who. Even though five was a stretch for characters, and which I had to learn the hard way when I was getting actors. Um, and I mean, it was only until my tutor Dan, the man, said, "Guys, don't focus on like don't try and focus on the finer print. Just write it. Just write the script." And as soon as I wrote it, it just came to me. And that's the thing. I feel like I've improved on. I now know how to write a script, and I now know the procedure and the way I should write it. But at the same time, it's getting really depressing. Um, I looked through the script, and I mean, it was just really long. So if I had another chance, I would want to try and shorten out my time frame for the script and get it as soon as I gone. The reason why I focused so much on the script was the actors itself. Last year in level two, um, I didn't get the actor until the last moment of the day before I was shooting, which really destroyed all my plans and everything, and it made me my brain destroyed out of what I should shoot on my new secondary location. So I decided, okay, to get actors, you need to have a script. You need to appeal to them to make them say, okay, I can help you out. And that's why I wanted to make a script and get it out of the way. But I pondered too long on it, and I've suffered for it. It was only when during the Easter break where I fixed the script and got actors, but then they left me again. And actors, oh my god, I've learned more about actors now, how much more they're a pain in the ass. People who are actors who also have things to do is annoying. I mean, one of my tutor said literally, okay, you can have your friends with actors, but it's best to have actual actors, like actual dramas, to really get the best out of your show. And that was true words because I've learned it the hard way during my production, as which is something I want to really change. So next time, be more prepared and get the actors as soon as I can, but also not as many actors. So because at least one or two, because I had four and it took me so long. Literally, the week of the back at Easter break, I was literally stressing over actors. I was like going to the dramas, putting on Facebook, asking all the mates I knew, asking the mates if they had mates and mates who were dramas. I was asking everyone, even if they were media students. And the maybe problem is I don't have as many friends who are not in media. Most three quarters of my friends are media students, and as a media student myself, and being here for like 3 years, I know media students can act for hell. That they're the worst actors, but I had to deal. So, and I used three people who are in media, and not the best actors, though I mainly was, because during my production wise, my sitcom idea became a purposely bad sitcom thanks to watching bad shows and also looking at Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, which is a show that's purposely trying to be bad. And I knew that was going to be very very fun, and also very fun to edit as well, because I mean, you might if you're looking. I mean, the best way to find out if some to learn something is to look at something bad and do it like try to like how to try to implement it as being bad. I mean, literally the threat I had through deciding that was like making it so bad it's bad, but not making it like I needed to make it nar, which is the French term for so bad it's so good, and I needed to make it that. I mean, I did research all this, by the way. I got through most of this research. Though some research, I have to say, was most pointless. I mean, I did a focus group to figure out my script, and by the end of it, one of the major things my focus group had a problem with, which is really annoying, was the setting. And the setting is in a school, wise. So the sitcom is about a school and a feud between a teacher and a student. But, oh my god, it was like just trying to get that sitcom out. Like, oh my god. Oh my bad, Rich. I lost it. Sorry. The major problem I had with what they asked me was that when I researched it, like because they every school has a different arrangement of like setup, and what I found in research was so inconclusive. I literally feel like I wasted my time for just trying to find out a simple question, as because every school and every classroom, every student, every teacher, so many different variables makes that classroom into different sets. So every classroom will always be set differently to accommodate to everything. And that was really annoying for me. So I felt like I just answered a specific question. Though I mean, maybe next time I should try and like less. If I find that answer quicker, that it's just very simple answer, I should try and back it up and not do as much research as I should have on irrelevant as well. It wasn't irrelevant. It was more in what's the word? Not as meaningful. So yeah. Also, major thing I needed to learn was the fact that I literally did all my pre-production paperwork in 1 week. After I finished my script, and also at the same time I was trying to get actors like a madman, which is something I've learned and now need to change. My pre-production work was immense. Like I literally got contribution forms, passed them to my actors, sorted them out my booking sheet, got all the stuff I wanted, make sure it's all there, went to my location. Funny fact about my location, when I started this project, I wanted to actually go to a property owner, but it didn't work out. I realized that going to an actual school would have been really sketchy, and they'll obviously say no because it would be students, stuff like that. So I decided to stay with college, but ironically, I still needed to obtain permission from a property owner as the room I wanted, WS5, was owned by the sports department. And they allowed me to do that, so I've learned that experience of knowing how to appeal to property owners. Though I wished I had a more broader sense of it. Um, and also getting down the storyboard, and when I did the storyboard, made me realize how humongous the sitcom would take, and also how long it would be, and made me start worrying about it. So the week after, I was planning to film for 3 days. On the day before, I was able to get all my actors. However, one of my actors who was actually a drama student, so I actually did get a drama student in the end, didn't appear until he was only able to do 3:30 until the afternoon, and I was filming in the afternoon, and that was not as much time as I thought I needed. So after speaking to my classmates and one of my former tutors, I realized that I was still trying to be too ambitious. I mean, I had a problem this last year where I made this idea that seemed like, oh yeah, it was completely fine. Yeah, this is completely simple. And then boom, after I get to the production, it's completely manic and really, really, high tech, really like complicated, and it ruins it for me. And I had that again. Ugh. So I changed my idea to a mockumentary, as like a mockumentary about the sitcom, purposely bad sitcoms, footage of like various scenes, and the actor and director like Garth McKenzie are talking about these various scenes and why it was so bad, why it didn't air. And I also want to have this like confusing dialogue moment, like where the director is all for himself, but the producer is actually being really truthful and being like really hateful over the director. So there's like a feud between them two, and also having one of the actors, just being really high as a comedic thing. I mean, I really went deep into comedy. I went into like innuendos, blue comedy, slapstick, visual comedy. I mean, I had fun with comedy, man, and I think I've actually nailed it. Though, hopefully, I mean, so far so good. When I showed people my video, they actually do find it funny. But more of a random funny. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore. I've just my ideas changed so much that like when I look back at it now, it feels at some point it was quite a mess, and it was quite a mess. Um, Besides that, looking at like when I got all so I changed it to a mockumentary, and when I was filming on Thursday and Friday, there was also new things I've learned about being more of a director and taking control. On Thursday, I had too many people come in, and so the whole thing was out of control. Not people, many people were taking like were trying to be quiet and trying to order everyone around, keep them in line, and trying to really focus on where I want everything to be was a struggle. I mean, I had diagrams to help me with the set of like LED lights and cameras, so that was fine. But at the same time, I failed as a director to try and organize everything. And even on Friday, it took me a while to just really get everyone sorted. And so for next time, I need to try and figure out how to have less people on a day, but also have more people as much as I can. No, I mean, as have everyone getting on with what they want to do, what I want them to do. The short wise, everyone had fun, and I mean that's the major thing. I wanted to have fun. Everyone else had fun. We all had blast. The Everyone had fun with the shots, the scenes, even though they were bad and cheesy, and some things were just what the hell. I mean, I got a bold cap for like 249, and and I asked my actor to put it on, and it looked really horrible on him. So bad it looked like something else, which I'm not gonna say. Um, and I mean, we did get through the shots in the end, and I also have loved it. Like when I used the XL1, which is the camera I use, the tape VSLR camera, and the LED lights that I used as well. Though I still feel I need to improve on learning how to use more camera, like all different types of camera than the DSLR and the LED lights, because the LED, like, even when I was using the LED lights and making it look better, as because I found one shot I did without the LED lights didn't look as good as with them. At the same time, I did not know if that shot was truly right, if that shot was truly good with the LED, if I had the LED in the right position. So next time I should learn how to really organize it, as well as the XL1. The XL1 had so many buttons, so many things on it that it was just complicated. And I did get through it, though I didn't muster my courage of using manual. Auto really helped out. Don't get me wrong, but as a newcomer, but as a just a person of media, I really wanted to use audio manual. Uh, I guess lastly is the post production, which is where I changed my idea again to a like an internet, dark place of the internet, where a group of mysterious people found a damaged, broken sitcom tape that was never aired and never shown, and they're showing it to the public, and it's like really bad and random and just all over the place. That makes it really funny, and I mean, it got loads of feedback from it with people saying like it's really good, it's funny, you've achieved this, but at the same time, it's like a lot of people said, giving me feedback like, oh, it should have been like this, it could have been like that, it could have been like this. I could have I could have made the narrative more sense. I could have done shots where more 90s stuff were in it. They were saying stuff like that. But at this stage in time, I was like, how can I really change that? And I mean, it was really hard for me to finish, like, really edit it any further after audience feedback. Because my tutor gave me the best analogy. He said, what I want is to make it dirty. Like if let me rephrase. What he said was, usually with people, they want to have a nice clean room, and they'll ask me, how clean can I make this, and I can give them advice. But I want the opposite. I want to trash my room, and ask how can I make it more trashier. And it was really hard for him to give advice on that, like advice on my thing because I'm making it purposely bad. And so even though I edited it all and I've got it through down and everyone's saying it's good, I still feel a bit unsatisfied with the edit, the final edit. I've been dragging on so long. I don't even know. I don't know if I've missed anything out. I mean, I'm just gonna say overall with this project, I did have a blast. I just hope I can get through everything, all the paperwork wise. I mean, I've learned so much for this. I've, as I said, learned lights, LED, scripts, and being patient. Still haven't improved my grammar though. There's a lot of issues with my grammar. And I mean, trying to simplify thing, even simplifying this is also something I need to improve. What I wanted, though, for next time, mainly get into that research and really choose something I really want to do so much so that it'll get me out of the bed and really focus. I don't think I have anything else I really can say. I mean, I hope everything turns out okay and this evaluation is good enough for a good mark. Ta ta.